investigation office. That means government must establish that where serious frauds are likely to be committed or has been committed, you need someone to investigate. And for that, you need people with the expertise of company law to be able to investigate it. Because it is you need to know something. You need an expert on company law. You need an expert on accounts. You need an expert on crime. You need an expert on cyber laws. Because nowadays most of things are done in IT. So unless you have a combination of all these skills, then only you can investigate and find out who the culprits are. So it said a serious frauds investigation office also has to be created. So this is another thing that was. Then the government of India also said, now we are going to totally revise the Companies Act. So the Companies Act has been totally revised. And I recommend that you read at least a summary of the Companies Act, because definitely some questions of the Company Act is going to come in ethics and values and also in economics paper. So the Companies Act recently in 2013, it was actually enacted by both in Parliament in 2013. You can read a nice small summary or purchase a book or keep it in the library, the latest 2013 company law. This company law, if you go through it, you will find lot of issues, certain chapters more or less covering corporate governance. That is very, very important from your point of view. Then apart from this, again another question came. They said, okay, some person can control with 51 and he can manage to get his directors on the board. What happens to the shareholder? Okay, other people also, up to 90% people may be, but 10% he has got only 5 shares, he has got only 10 shares. No one will listen to him. No one will bother about it. What about the minority share? They are called minority shareholders. So the big fellows who are purchasing 10% share, they take care of themselves. They get their representative on the board. They will ask my representation. But what about the small fellows? So for the small fellows, the minority shareholders also, so SEBI has said, the new company law also said, those fellows' interests have to be taken, and they have said one of the responsibility of the directors is to see that the minority shareholders' interests are protected. So this is one important thing. Then they said, women directors also, there is so much of cultural diversity. Why is it women are not getting a good share in the board directors? So they said, women also must be given prominence. So they said initially, very few women have the skills or the experience. They said, but unless you begin, where will they get the experience? So they said, compulsorily you must have at least one woman director on every board. One woman. Slowly you must raise it. All over the world, if you look at it, women's representation is the highest in the Scandinavian countries. Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland. There you have almost 40% of the directors of the board are women. There women are actually more in number. In all other places, at best it is about 15 to 20% world over. But in India it is even lower. So they said you must get more people into women also. So the company law also has made a provision for women representation, for minority shareholders protection. They also have made provision for induction of independent directors. Independent directors also. Right? This is very. And one of the important things the company's law tells us is that there is more to governance than governance. Very important sentence you note down. There is more to governance than governance. There is more, M-O-R-E, more to governance than governance. Which means more represents moral values. That means it is not just the norm. Mores has two meanings. One is norms. Norms means what are the regular rules. One is norms. The other is called mores, means morals. They said corporate governance not merely procedures, not merely processes, not merely law. It is involved with morals, involved with ethics, involved with values. So they said, unless you have good people, you won't have good governance. Unless you have good people, you don't have good governance. So that is why more is the moral. There is more to governance. They may ask you a question like this. Please explain what do you mean by there is more to governance than governance. You understand? Very important sentence. So you need to be clear about the meaning of this thing. Then what happens is, Government of India also said now people have to know very clearly what it is. So in 2009, they issued voluntary guidelines. Voluntary guidelines of corporate governance. It was issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs in 2009. Again, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs at the same time introduced another voluntary guidelines of corporate social responsibility. So they said corporate governance must go in one hand, corporate social responsibility must go in one hand. And they explained what is meant by corporate social responsibility, what it meant by corporate governance. Subsequently, in the 2013, they actually incorporated the provisions in the law itself. Earlier, to see that people are aware of this one, knowledge about corporate governance and corporate social responsibility was created. In 2009, they actually gave out this voluntary check. Companies can volunteer. It's not compulsory. It is not legally binding, but they can themselves follow. Companies which follow find it easy because once the companies act as the same provisions will be applicable. And in corporate social responsibility, they have made a significant change. What they have said, any company having more than 1,000 crores turnover, more than 1,000 crores turnover, or which is making profits continuously, and profits of the last 3 years, whatever profit, 2% of that profit must go to corporate social responsibility. That means compulsorily companies have to spend 2%. Now companies are having one problem. They never had a system of doing this work. So now suddenly they have to spend 2% and government will be breathing down their neck. Collectors will be coming and inspecting what happened with this 2%, why it is not spent. So for that reason now they are desperately seeking NGOs, non-government organizing, please for heaven's sake I'll give you this money, do something which is relevant. Now then they are asking again question. I am in this particular business. Should that spending also help my business or it need not help my business? So selfishness comes, whatever I say, at least let me get some benefit out of it. So it's one way of looking at it. Second, they are thinking now, no, the best way is volunteers from within the company. We will find out young people who are willing to do some social work. Why not we encourage volunteerism in the company so that these volunteers can go and work along with others. So we will also have the feedback of what is being done by the NGOs, and these fellows also will be trained up. So then they will actually know what is it the public wants and what is it that the public wants we are capable of doing. Some companies, supposing I am a company in construction, if supposing in a village they want a overhead tank to be constructed, it is simple for me because I have the skill, I have the expertise, quickly I can construct for them. I am very good in some job, and supposing I am a fertilizer company, I can advise the farmers there what fertilizer to apply. So there is some link between the nature of the work I am doing and the type of social work that I am doing. Can I bring this link? My own people going means I have a better feedback, I can use my skills, also at the same time the money I spend can actually give me better return. Today I may take up in 2-3 years one village I may cover, another 2-3 years I may, or I may take up 5-6 villages, or I may take up 10 villages around my area. So all these issues will start coming up. So they are thinking, in addition to employing NGOs, we need to also look at volunteerism. And lot of things, they will say, some people in the village will say, sir, our lands we have given, why don't you build a community hall and give me? Another fellow will say, sir, you have taken away the land, including the land for the smashan. Now we don't have a smashan. We have to acquire some land. Why don't you build a good smashan and give it to us? All these questions come in rural areas. Some people will say, sir, here lot of people are having fluorosis in Nalgonda district. Why don't you do something by giving protected water supply? Some people will say, sir, here lot of children are having eye problems. Why don't you give vitamin A tablets? Why don't you have something where glasses can be given free of cost? So like that, from villages also, lot of problems will come to the lap of the companies. The companies also will have to tune themselves to this one. So you understand? So this is one very important. Now, another important thing I would like to tell you. There are broadly three types of board structures. Three types of board structure. In India, different. UK and America, different. In UK and America, it is called the single tier. Single tier. That means the CEO is also part of the board. And there are other directors, including independent. Only one board. All problems that come are put up to the board takes the decision. Usually in a board, what happens? The finance director will be there. The operations director will be there. The CEO will be there. This is compulsory everywhere you will have. In addition to that, you have sometimes